It's time for a little tough love. You have got to be honest with yourself about goals. And the problem many of us have is we're just not honest with ourselves. If you say my goal is to reach my ideal weight and I need to lose 30 pounds, but on a daily basis you're still eating junk food and you're not exercising, then you're kidding yourself. You're deluding yourself. How is that helpful? You don't really have the goal of losing weight if you continue to eat lots of processed foods with sugar and fat and processed carbohydrates put in them. You're simply not serious about losing weight. If you say your goal is to get married and have a family, and yet you're single and you turn down all offers from your friends to go to parties, or they want to introduce you to someone and say, oh, no, I'm too busy, or they're not good enough for me, then you're kidding yourself. You don't really have the goal of getting married and having children. And that's okay, but just be honest with yourself. If you tell yourself your goal is to be rich and successful and be a high-powered executive, and yet you're the first one out the door at 5 o'clock, and you spend all of your free time watching TV, playing video games, watching sports on TV, and you're not spending time coming up with new ideas for your colleagues at work, your clients, or your own business, then you're fooling yourself. Your career is just not that important to you. And that's okay. Career doesn't have to be that important to you. But don't tell yourself your goal is to be the CEO of a huge, big, publicly traded corporation, and then you want to slack off and just punch the time clock and not continue to learn. So much of what it takes to achieve your goals is to be honest with yourself, to have a sense of self-awareness, to be aware of what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are. I'm never going to be a world-class fashion designer or a great pilot. In part, I have no aspiration to do either one of those things. In part, I'm colorblind, so I would be horrible at both, and it would be illegal for me to try to be a pilot because I'm colorblind. Have some self-awareness. Know what your strengths are and your weaknesses are and what you truly want. Part of being a fulfilled person, part of being a mature person is realizing that as you grow, as you develop, your goals grow and develop, and you have to be honest with yourself. All of us at some point have had goals where we thought, this is what I'm going to do, this is what I'm going to be, I have to do this to be happy, or my life is over. As teenagers, quite often we do that. I know I wanted to be president of the United States, and no, I did not reach that goal. And now it's not a goal of mine. But you've got to be honest with yourself and really ask yourself, do you truly want this? Because if it is a goal, and it's been a goal for a long time, you should be working on it every day. Are you constantly learning and failing and re-strategizing and trying new things? Or is it just a wish? I wish to write a novel, and I started 2 pages 6 years ago, and it's in my drawer, and I haven't looked at it since or written another page. I've got news for you. It's no longer a goal of yours to become a novelist. It's just a wish. It could become a goal again, but it's not a real goal. You will never achieve it until you put on your calendar, could be 6 a.m. or 10 p.m., but until you put on your calendar, write 300 words in my novel today, and it's on your calendar every day, you will never achieve your goal. But it's never too late. You could decide you wanted to write a novel, push it away, come back to it 10 years later. If you start the daily habits you need, you can finish that novel in 3 months. Maybe a little more, maybe less. Mark Twain wrote The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, couldn't quite finish it, just pushed it away, didn't think about it for years. then came back to it and finished it. It wasn't a goal of his, a top-level goal, to finish and publish that book for a number of years after he started it. Now, he did other things. He wrote other books. He had a fabulous public speaking career. But it wasn't a goal at that time, but he came back to it. You can come back to your goals at any time when you decide they are important. But be honest with yourself. Make sure these are truly your goals, because if you're not willing to do the daily work, then it's just like a wish of, oh, I'd like to win the lottery. Well, hoping to win the lottery isn't a goal you achieve. It's just luck that happens to you. Never confuse the difference between good luck and you actually achieving a goal because of your hard work.